Shut up and sit down.
By all means, go for it. Have fun. Just leave me alone.
People are coming together more and more and more and more as the government has been failing us more and more.
I'm against being shitty to people.
You can't research your way into understanding somebody.
One way or another, I'd rather have the fight now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Fight for Liberty Live. I want to start out today's show by wishing Muddied Waters Media a happy 5th anniversary. So when you guys are done watching this, you can go over to muddiedwatersoffreedom.com and watch their 5th anniversary special. It should be a good time. They're about to go live, but it's not going to be as good of a time as this show. So I'm glad you guys are going to stick around because I've got an elected libertarian for you guys today. First, as always, we got to talk about our sponsors. The one, the only, Tom Queter. He's running for New York State Senate in the 52nd District. He's doing an awesome job. He's out in his community. He is rolling for New York State Senate, and you guys should definitely help him out. Go to tomfor52.com or click the link in the description below. That's a donate link, so you can help us out financially if you can't help us out physically, or do both. Everything is awesome. Everything is cool if you're part of our team. Also, go to nugofknowledge.com if you want to get some of the best high quality cannabis you could possibly imagine. I'm going to show you guys some of what that looks like if my screen share will work correctly. There we go. I had this set up and then it didn't work the way I wanted it to. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. There we go. There it is. Maybe. Nope. That's not going to work. I tried to do something cool. There it is. That's what it looks like. So we have some awesome flower and vape products for you guys with cool names and great flavors. We actually have quite a few flavors. They just added a whole bunch of them. So you've got like strawberry cream, blue dream, grapefruit, all sorts of fun stuff. So go to nugofknowledge.com. Use promo code FSM or F4L. Either one works to get 10% off your first order and help out both the network and the show and everyone else. We'd greatly appreciate that. But enough of the sponsors because I'm excited about today's show. Today, we have the Majority Inspector of Elections, the one, the only, Joel Getz. Welcome to the show, my friend.
It's great to be on. This is way more exciting when I was on with Spunk Conan and Matt Wright or whatever. Spunk, whatever it is. I don't know.
Something like that. Some guy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So, first of all, congratulations on winning your election, and sorry on the loss of your other election.
Hey, I tell people, I'm considering it like a 50% batting average, which is, that's Hall of Fame numbers right there. So,
hey, doing better than me.
At the same time, I campaigned and spent money for mayor, and then as I was there, I looked at the sample ballot and I was like, hey, there's nobody running for this, so I'm just gonna have a few people write me in for this other one. And I was like, well, this could have been just a hell of a lot easier, but. We did a ton of great work actually running a legitimate campaign and all that, so it was worth it. But plus, hey, I did it for the elected libertarian pin that Kara sends out if you win. So I got one of those, and now I can just resign if I want to. It doesn't really matter.
That's really the only reason you want to get elected is just so Kara sends you a pin. It's the really
I don't really care about liberty. I just really like pins, and I spent a bunch of money on a lifetime membership pin for the LPPA, and I spent however much money I spent campaigning, and got the elected pin. So, well, to be fair, that also wasn't my money, but yeah.
I mean, it is always nicer when it's somebody else's money.
Oh yeah, we were buying like 2,000 stick pens, and I'm like, oh, it's how much? I don't care. Sure, let's get them. Also, I don't know why I keep turning my head to this microphone that I already told you is not plugged in.
Yeah, I too like pins. They're a fun. I think they're like the crux of the liberty movement. Are pins. And
If
this
you don't
one,
have a bunch of pins, you're not a libertarian.
yeah, elect libertarians.
There we go. It's fitting for
Go
the show.
pragmatist caucus.
Oh, for God's sake, we've been on for like less than 5 minutes, and Queeter's already in the comments just getting donations. Jesus, Tom.
That sounds like Tom. So
That's
I
fair.
always like to start off with sort of like a testimonial question. So I'm curious, what brought you into this batshit crazy organization called the Libertarian Party? And if it's a different story, what made you actually get involved?
Well, the first thing that made me actually start looking up the party was probably, I want to say 2012, was that guy right there.
Nice.
And that set me off on the path. The first thing I really remember is him owning Rudy Giuliani during a debate and they were talking about the Iraq War, and that was just too good. So that set me on the path. But I voted Libertarian and wasn't really involved. Then one weekend, however long it's been now, when the party had its convention online, I was bored and decided to watch it because, sure, why not? And they nominated Jorgensen. Had no idea who she was. Looked her up. Happened to be on her Facebook at a time when they were asking for people to run state Facebook pages, and I said, yeah, I could post memes and stuff like that. I'm good. And I offered. Figured they'd say no, but I got that. Got hooked up with Sam Robb, the state coordinator. Ended up being the state social media director, which got me hooked up with Adam Reinhart, who was my county chair. Ended up being vice chair. Now I'm the chair, running for EVC. I just never left. I just wanted to post some memes, and people just kept giving me. Yeah, they just kept giving me more things to do, and I kept going, okay. And somehow, I don't know if I'm like good at it or nobody else wants to do it, but they just keep going, yeah, sure, here's more stuff. And I'm like, sweet.
It's got to be a mixture of the two of those. More the second part than the first, I think.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a lot of people's story. It's like I just wanted to post memes online, and then people asked me to do things, and because I'm autistic, I'm bad at saying no, and so now I'm doing a bunch of things.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally how Tom got me on his campaign. He called me up and was basically said, hey, you're the social media guy now. And I was like, yeah, I guess I'm the social media guy now. And I run the Twitter for the LPPA, which is super fun because not only do all libertarians agree, but everyone on social media agrees. So when you like combine the two, I could like post something that says like, hey, puppies are cute, and people be like, well, actually, and it'd just be horrible.
I just got to throw that pun up there because it's really good.
I had my campaign slogan before I even knew what office I was going to run for. It was what East Stroudsburg needs, Joel Getz.
I dig it. I dig that a lot. It's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good name. It's a good name for campaigning. So,
Isn't it great when your last name is really punny?
Yeah, I mean, you made an entire podcast out of it. I mean, it works.
I did.
You know?
I also made an entire campaign out of it because my New York City campaign was Fight for NYC.
Yes. Me and I was talking to Kim Ruff one time, and she said that we should run as a ticket sometime so it could be Getz Ruff, which I thought was solid. There's a lot. We could do a lot more with that too. So it's hoping. I gotta wait like 8 years before I can run for president, but hopefully I won't be batshit crazy by then, and I'll stop running for offices. But I don't see it likely.
Yeah, I got a while to wait myself, and I probably will have fully given up on electoralism by the time that happens. Because, like, politics?
I keep thinking like I'm gonna give up on this whole party and politics, but then like something good happens, and I'm like, yay! Let me do more things, and it's just not. Oh, we have somebody in the comments who, in fact, some puppies are awful. Told you, doesn't matter what I do or say. Oh no, not him. Daniel. Yeah, Winograd is just a dirty Mises grifter. So he's just here to. Yeah, he's one of those He's one of those LPPA guys who just. Yeah.
Winograd, go watch the Muddied Waters anniversary show.
Muddied Waters. I've never heard of that one. I'll have to check that out sometime.
So I had Matt Wright on the show last week, and we actually tossed around the idea of you and me just streaming their anniversary episode and running commentary the whole time and not actually doing an interview. Oh.
I would 100% be down for that. We could just like stream it and roast the shit out of them.
It's so
like
easy
that'd be hilarious.
It's like Matt Wright and Spike Cohen. It's like two of the easiest people. And I guess I think Jason's on tonight too. I don't know. So somebody go over there and then tell me in the comments who else on there. Just kidding. I don't care. Patricia Marie tagged us both in the comments and said that we should cancel this and watch the Muddied Waters show. I'm like, disrespectful. Jeez. Come on, Patricia.
Like I am way more popular than Spunk, Tasha's spouse or whatever. Like,
his name is Spork Colon, actually.
Sport Colon, that's it. Plus. I even made fun of him on his own podcast, so I don't really care. Ever since I met him and he had those bangs or whatever they in fact were, like it just wasn't good. It looked like he just had like some dirt that you could have just rubbed off. It wasn't like it was. He should have dyed him blonde. He should have just had frosted tips or something. But it just wasn't good. Apparently, we're just gonna roast Spike Cohen tonight anyway. But I will say he had gator skin shoes. Those were dope. That was like it didn't really make sense based on like if you look at the rest of him, but it was cool.
I've never seen those. I'm a little bit disappointed.
Yeah,
I love. So Tasha has like found me as like one of the few libertarians. You actually, yourself included, and she's actually named you as well as an exception to the rule, as like libertarians that actually know how to dress themselves.
Hold on. Not to cut you off here, but did you just say that Spike Cohen's wife knows who I am? Because I've never even met her, and this is exciting to me.
Always like dressed to the nines in like every event and on every picture and in every. Just about everything. You're the only person that's ever addressed me at an LP event. Like in the history of my Libertarian Party career, the only person to ever address me.
Yeah, I mean, that is accurate. I do have a purple paisley blazer, which is amazing. I own more than one suit where the pants are actually shorts and has a short sleeve blazer. So clearly I know what I'm doing, but it is exciting news that Tasha knows who I am, considering I've never met her. That's fantastic. I like her way better than Spike. I've never even met her.
Agreed. But yeah, it's always amusing because at events she'll like come up to me and like start talking. Like we'll critique whatever it is that Spike is wearing that day together, and she'll just be like, "So I tried really hard today, and I got like that's literally almost always how she starts the sentence is I tried."
I bet she like lays clothes out for him and then he puts them on, and as soon as she leaves the room he's like, ew, no, and then just goes and dresses himself and she sees him just like, God damn it.
He is getting a lot better. I mean, first of all, he wears a shirt most of the time. Now he's usually got a pocket square on, and it usually matches his tie really well. So that's fun. But yeah, to be
fair, he could only go up from where he was. So I mean, like it's
true. So I met Spike Cohen in January of 2020, and I did not realize that I had met Spike Cohen until August 2020.
That's amazing.
Because when I met him, he was in a Carhartt jacket, jeans, work boots, and a beanie, holding a fucking pony on a stick, still running as Vermin Supreme's running mate. And I didn't even hear that. Like no one said the word VP, no one said the word running mate. I was talking to who I thought was a rando Vermin Supreme groupie from New Hampshire. That was just there at the event. And I talked to him longer than anyone else at the event, actually. Like him and I had a solid 10-minute conversation. That neither obviously he doesn't remember because he met millions of people that year. And I didn't realize that was the fucking vice presidential candidate. Like I was a big fan of Spike's, and then finally someone posted a picture from that night and tagged him in it, and I'm like, that's
Oh shit!
Oh my god, I met that guy.
I met that guy. Yeah, it was the first time I met him was in where were we? Scranton, and we were doing ballot access signatures, and it was hot as shit out. So it was awful. I mean, Spike was great and all blah blah blah. We got signatures, but it was hot and it sucked because I'm fat and didn't care for it. But along the way, I met him a few more times. Now I actually have his phone number. So after I won, Joe, that's an inside joke. Bonnie, by the way, Bonnie's not a real libertarian. So she's it doesn't matter.
All right, I'm not. But
she also did.
I've met her, so I'll argue with that. I like her.
She's. Oh yeah, ask her. She'll probably put something about this in the comments. I wonder if Bonnie has ever had a cardboard cutout of George W. Bush that she went drinking with. But anyway, so I sent Spike a text one night. It was late, and I said, "Hey, Spike, what's the difference between me and you?" And he said, "I didn't run for mayor." And I said, "No, I'm an elected libertarian." And I thought he would make a joke back, but all he said was, "Congratulations, buddy." I'm like, oh, damn it. I forgot he's actually a nice guy. I was hoping to get Facebook comments, Spike Cohen. But
Spike's a good guy though. But speaking of which, why the fuck did you run for mayor?
I'm an idiot. Jesus, it wasn't that funny, my guy. For the massive salary and incalculable power that would come with the office. But honestly, I decided I was going to run for something, and I kind of just looked at the offices, and I went, yeah, I want to do mayor. And really not much to it. Our borough's council seat wasn't up this cycle. There wasn't a whole bunch of stuff locally up this cycle. Constable and inspector ended up being uncontested, but just went for mayor first. I'll consider school board or borough council here in 22 or 3, whenever those come up. But I pretty much just looked at a sheet and said, "Yep, that one looks good. Let's do it." And like I said, I had the slogan picked out first, and then just kind of built it from there. I was I had the important stuff like a slogan and a logo, and then I was like, oh, all right, now I need smart people who know what they're doing.
That joke was so funny it broke my microphone stand.
I get that a lot.
That actually just happened. It just fell off the thing that was holding it to the desk. Just decided it didn't want to hold on anymore. But we're past that.
What kind of shady operation are you running here?
I love that you. The shady bro. I am a povertarian running a podcast off of like used sound equipment from random places. Actually, the stand is from Staples, and it wasn't used. The microphone is from a tiny ass music store in a tiny ass town in bumfuck Ohio.
Isn't that redundant?
Met a random libertarian that sold me this microphone. It was a good time.
Isn't bumfuck Ohio like
or
redundant?
bumfuck nowhere, bumfuck Ohio?
Bumfuck Ohio, yeah.
Yes, but this is like
redundant.
Bumfuckerier than like, you know, it's still it was so much of bumfuck nowhere that it was still necessary to be redundant. It's
wow.
It's like just
that's impressive. Because also screw Ohio. Not as much as screw Michigan, but I mean screw them both, honestly. I don't really even consider them part of the union. Amash is cool, but like I hate Ann Arbor, Michigan. See, I told you. Now that would be a true statement if she took out the word recovering. She's just a Republican, damn it.
Okay, but here she is being really nice.
That's because that's because she is in public right now. Like she, just in case. I'll probably get a text message that just calls me an asshole within the next like 5 minutes. Like it's all a facade. Bonnie's an elected libertarian too. You should have her on. She won for auditor. Plus she, I think, hates doing interviews and talking about herself. So, hey, there's Liz. Forget Ohio and Michigan. Fuck Indiana. That is not a real state.
Hey.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, name 3 people from Indiana other than Liz.
I was gonna say
doesn't exist.
Will Henry, Donald Rainwater, and Evan McMahon. Those are literally the only other 3 people from Indiana I could have possibly named.
I should have said 4. I should have said 4.
I would have been fucked.
Damn it. All right, well, I take it back. Indiana's okay. Indiana's fine, I guess.
Oh my god.
Oh, tell Liz, I'm actually busy right now on a podcast, but maybe sometime, to her last comment. Otherwise, well, unless you know this could be a weird podcast, but
it still wouldn't be the weirdest podcast. So yeah, there've been some interesting episodes. Last time I interviewed Tom Queter, I got so high I fell out of my chair.
That's a good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, I had just woken up from a nap and was blazed out of my mind.
Listen
to
Out of cigarettes, Fight for Liberty.
And was just chain smoking joints instead.
Jesus, that's a bad idea. It's like I was dehydrated, so I just whipped open this bottle of vodka and was just chugging it. Fair enough. We've all been there. Maybe.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
God dang.
So tell me about the Molten Maneuver. What is it, and why do we do it? And
the Molten Maneuver. Never heard of it. But anyway, the Molten Maneuver is where people, Chuck Moulton, Jen Moore, couple others, find uncontested winnable races in the state of Pennsylvania. And then we send out mailers or otherwise recruit for those races. They had, I forget the exact number, but it's above 90% success rate, probably above 95% success rate. Or if you're the only person on the ballot, you're probably going to get elected. So we used that this year, and we elected. The numbers are still going up. But last count, it was 147 libertarians in mostly partisan races. I know some races weren't, but we elected people to school board, borough council, auditors, constables. We got 2 or 3, I don't remember, mayors elected. Not me, so I'm a little bit salty about that, but happy for the other people. I know Sally out in Jersey Shore won, Kate Crosby up in Potter County. There might be a third one, but I don't remember. Not me, like I said. So it's really not that cool, but still cool. But yeah, all kinds of offices. Obviously, we lead the country in elected libertarians, unlike Ohio or Indiana or New York. You know, gonna talk trash about all your states. At least New York will have a state senator soon. So.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna put up a fucking fight on this one. Like, New York sucks, and the LPNY sucks. I'm trying, but I'm 1 out of 69 people on a state committee, so not much I can do.
How many?
It's like Congress. 69. Yeah, you heard me right.
Nice. Why do I keep talking into this? It's not plugged in. Jesus. 69 people on a committee. That's pretty. It's not. I'm just gonna move it. It's not doing anything, and I feel ridiculous. I keep talking into this bullshit. Like fuck it. Here, I'm just gonna hold this power drill like a microphone now and just talk into the fucking ridiculous. But yeah, the Molt maneuvers.
Yo, I did that for a little while. My old
great.
mic broke, and sorry, I'm getting a lag here. Yeah, my old mic broke, and I kept it on the stand and in the shot for like 2 or 3 weeks while I was just using a different microphone. That's just like a little tiny one that like sits on the desk. And I just kept the gold mic in the thing because it's a habit of mine. Like when I'm doing the show, I like fiddle with the microphone, and I'm sure you can actually kind of hear it on the other side. And I'm sorry, guys, that watch my show and have to listen to me fiddle with my microphone all the time. But I watch like other podcasters, and like especially Joe Rogan does it all the time, and like a bunch of his guests do too, where they're just like constantly like fucking with the microphone because they're like shifting around, and then you've got to move the microphone to like stay with you, because you're not just gonna sit in the same position for 2 hours. It's just not gonna happen. At least not when you're
Quite.
But sorry.
So two things. One, well, yeah, Molt maneuver is awesome, but more appropriate things. One, Elizabeth accused you of not wearing pants, and I just got a text message from somebody who I won't name, said, "Haha, fiddling with his microphone," which I think. So.
For the record, I stood up earlier in this episode. Tell I'm wearing pants because I grabbed my buttons, but that's okay. It's a good thing I actually was. I
didn't say it. Liz said it, not me. I assumed you were wearing pants. Also, I don't care because I'm not. So, like, it's podcasts and Zoom. I mean, why bother wearing pants? Who cares? In PA, yeah, what Bonnie said. That's my answer about the Molt maneuver. Exactly what she said.
It's a beautiful answer. So I have a question about PA politics, because like the big confusion in my mind, or like a lot of people I've told about your guys' success, is how are there that many uncontested races? And what's the plan for those seats? Like, if you hadn't run, what would have happened?
How there are so many, I really don't know. Apparently, people just don't care as much as they should. Generally, if nobody wins, they just start looking for people to volunteer for it, and they appoint people, which was one of the warnings that I think it was Kevin Goggin put in one of our Facebook groups was, hey, if you're a libertarian and you win your write-in thing or whatever, they might not be able to get in touch with you, or they might act like they can't get in touch with you, and they'll go, "Oh no, we weren't able to get in touch with a libertarian. Who gives a shit?" And then they'll just try to fill the vacancy like they would normally with a friend or someone who's interested in it. But yeah, I can only figure that people just don't care enough about the positions or something. And I mean, I saw it in my borough. Voter turnout was low. I mean, I was there for 12 hours, and my ward had, I want to say, 180 voters come through it all day. It was so slow. But looking at the ward data, I did do the best at my own ward, so that felt good. I mean, I was able to convert a good percentage of the voters I was able to talk to personally, which is weird to me because, like, I don't know, I'm very offensive and just weird sometimes. Apparently, people like me. I did have one of my fancy blazers on, so that's probably what did it.
There you go. I don't know who would find you offensive or weird. That's
generally women, men, everyone, babies for sure. But that one's fair because I don't like them either. We have lots of problems. They're not as cute as people think they are. You know, they all kind of look the same. I just don't care. Put that up on the screen as something. Joel Getz for EVC doesn't care for babies. Just don't like them. They're loud.
Well, I know you're not one of the stereotypical libertarians.
Huh?
Well, like at least we do, there's the idea that a lot of libertarians swing the opposite way for their feelings about younger people. So we can be sure that you don't go like that. So no Arvin Vora situations on our hands here. We're fine.
I am glad that that's what it took for you to be sure of that with me. Me saying that I hate babies. And you're like, oh, this guy hates babies. He checks out. Definitely not a criminal. He should be fine. But yeah, whatever it takes, whatever I have to not like for you to be like, yeah, he probably doesn't, fiddle with his microphone, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Probably doesn't fiddle with his microphone too close to a school. You know what I'm saying? What? If your podcasts are monetized, they're not going to be for this one, by the way.
No, I haven't even bothered trying with that one. I love how I'm basically just interviewing Bonnie here with commentary.
The funny thing is, like, she would hate to actually talk about herself or be on a podcast, but she's great in the which is how we became friends. I mean, we're best fucking friends at this point because I started up the Jorgensen page and group, and I have a pretty long-standing policy of not feeding trolls. I just ignore them. But people would say some pretty dumb shit on that page and in that group. And there was this one person who would come in and just shit on them in the most intelligent ways usually, or just saying, screw it. And then it was Bonnie, and she ended up being on one of our campaign calls. And I was like, Sam, I'm going to get her to join the team for social media because we are a very good team. And ever since then, she was my treasurer for my camp page. She helps me out with LPPA Twitter and all that. It's pretty much we need a thoughtful response to something, I'll be like, hey, you need to go handle this because I'm just going to tell them to fuck off.
That's always helpful to have a good cop around, or a intelligent cop. Is that like smart cop, dumb cop?
Well,
more?
Yeah, it's like that. It's also using the term cop is appropriate considering she's a statist Fed boy. So it just makes sense.
I'm sorry, which one? Or actually, I guess you guys are both elected politicians. So that box.
I'm
But
not a
not as bad as
politician.
Winograd because
I
he's
am.
actually a cop.
Oh yeah, Jacob Winograd, the cop. I forgot about that. What a narc that guy. I mean, geez, we might have to pass a bylaw to bar him from convention because if anybody there has weed, he'll probably try to arrest them.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I mean, I heard that he actually arrested himself yesterday for possession.
God, I thought about having people write me in for a constable, and I was
Apparently,
like, that just
this is the
seems
pick
like
on
a
our
lot.
friends episode.
Friends, I don't have. I hate Bonnie. Winograd's a grifter. I know that. Whoever else, Liz is awful. We knew that though.
Well, I mean,
What else do we pick? Oh, Spike.
Winograd.
God.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Winograd does have 2 podcasts, so he's a double grifter, actually.
2 podcasts. That's right. Oh wow.
2
podcasts. I should have gotten. I should have gotten more campaign
because all
donations
podcast
from
hosts are
him,
grifters.
in my opinion. Obviously. Speaking of, are you coming to LPPA convention? I'm assuming you're going to need a place to sleep. Dirty grifter.
Possibly, and if so, yes.
Sweet.
I don't know. Someone in the comments will have to fight you for which state I end up in that week hosting competing events.
Oh, no. See, here's the deal, okay? Because we have more elected libertarians than Indiana has people. So, like, it really isn't a competition. Like, how many people are going to be at Indiana's convention? 3.5? I mean, just come to Pennsylvania, okay? It's not, yeah, four. So, like, it's not. Bonnie's sitting here laughing at the idea of me in a constable uniform, which is weird because Bonnie is attracted to cops because she's a statist. So, I should have done. I forgot they got uniforms. I should have become a constable. I would have showed up at convention in my constable's uniform, just try to arrest people.
I fully believe this. You would definitely do that.
Not only would I do it, I haven't ruled it out. I might just buy a constable's uniform and do it. As I say this out loud, it's probably illegal. But you know, if you're not doing illegal shit at a libertarian convention, you might as well be at a DNC meeting or something. So, who really cares?
I'm curious which is more illegal, all the drugs that we do or impersonating a police officer.
First of all, I don't know who we is. I didn't do any drugs at the last convention.
You at least smoked weed with me.
I don't think I did. I really don't think I did any drugs at convention. I don't even remember talking to you at convention.
Everybody.
I don't even remember talking to you at convention. And like when I got at some point, I was like, man, there were no drugs at this convention. And then like 3 people were like, I had this, and that. I'm like, what the hell? I need better friends. But to be fair, I was, like running on no sleep the whole time. And I still had like Mises derangement syndrome. So I was busy doing stupid shit instead of having a good time at convention, which is what I'm going to do this year.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Yeah, that your convention was a pretty good time. I hung out with both crowds, and it was an interesting weekend for sure. Yeah, I think we talked like maybe once, and I just knew you from Prague calls. But
that was a time.
yeah.
apparently Liz said she was up on
the
the
Meatcock Battle, the best political event I've ever been to.
Really? I didn't go to any of them. I don't know what they got in store this year, but I might have to check it out as long as I don't have to like give money to anybody or grift or anything. Like, although to be fair, running for office, I did get pretty good at grifting and shit. So,
yeah, I got in for free because I was media. For both the Meatcock
I have this microphone and shit like that. So maybe if I just carry that with me, I'll just carry like the full stand and be like, yeah, I'm also media. I'm with Fight for Liberty. It's we're gonna call it Getz the Fight for Liberty or some shit. So you gotta let me in too.
Getz the Fight for Liberty.
Yeah, it was the best I can come up with. I don't think our names go together for a podcast title. But.
Gets to fight.
Well, unless like
I don't know. I'm gonna think about it though for a while.
Unless you fight me as a fundraiser, then it could just be Fight Getz for Liberty. Like, I just that.
We should do.
I don't think that'd be like a really. Would that really be a good fundraiser though? Like, who's gonna pay to see the two of us fight? Like, I'm
Elizabeth.
fat. Like, it's just. Well, I'll fight Liz as a fundraiser, and if she loses, she has to come to PA and skip her state's convention, and she can vote for me for EVC.
So tell me about that. Why are you running for EVC?
I'm an idiot.
Well, actually, Eastern Vice Chair. We should tell people what EVC even means, especially since it's been scrolling across the bottom for 20 minutes. Eastern Vice Chair, you are continuing to follow in Adam Reinhardt's footsteps as you can climb up the chain of the LP.
Who?
Right? Let's see again. Right?
I don't know who that gentleman is, but yeah, I pretty much just keep taking his old job. I took his county. So now I'm going to take 21 other counties. But yeah, the Eastern Vice Chair develops undeveloped counties in the eastern part of the state and gives support to the developed ones. And it's a great time to become Eastern Vice Chair because we only have 2 undeveloped counties. Really hoping Adam could bang those last 2 out before a convention. That way I could just be like, hey, yeah, I'm here for support. It's a great title, but if not, I'll get those last 2 knocked out. I forget which ones, but there's got to be at least a couple libertarians up in those counties. But yeah, it's just a support role for those counties, and instead of having like 1 county of libertarians to deal with, you get 22, which is awesome because I already deal with LPPA Twitter, so it's not like I'm not used to like 22 counties worth of different opinions just being yelled at me. So not a big deal, but it would be super awesome to be more involved, which I keep saying. Somehow, eventually it'll stop being great to be more involved, but we haven't hit that point yet, which.
Oh no, he died. Guys, he died right here, live on the show. And once again, Bonnie's actually the one getting interviewed because she knows which counties. He didn't die.
Oops, now we got to fix my audio. Give me 1 second here.
I love that Bonnie actually knew the counties as well.
Hold on.
See, guys, why watch Muddied Waters Media when you could watch Tech Difficulties on Free Speech Media?
Did you know that if you click the leave button instead of the chat button, it will in fact just exit the whole program?
Yeah.
This is a shit show, to be honest. I mean, you drop your microphone took a shit. I just fucking left the entire podcast. I'm not even high. Like, I'm just that's me. Like, I don't even do drugs. I'm just fucking dumb. Like, it's not. It's just, it is what it is. But now you're frozen for me. This is not good. Oh. There we go. You were frozen for me there, David. I don't know if you were talking or not, but
no, I went down. My whole internet went down because yeah, as you were saying, luckily my other computer stayed up, so I actually heard what you were saying. Yeah,
this is
gotta love technology.
I think
it's a good time.
I think we're being unfairly targeted by Bill Gates or who are we supposed to hate these days? I forget. You know who it was. It was Michael Heiss. Big bad Michael Heiss.
Yeah, he doesn't like my show because I'm a fakertarian. I don't even know if he has an opinion on my show. I'm making that up.
Aren't we all fakertarians, really? Because there's no such thing as a real libertarian.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, fakertarians doesn't exist. It's not an organization. It's a concept. Just kidding. That's also not.
Did you just quote Antifa for? Jesus Christ.
I mean, it's basically the same thing. And Antifa, fakertarian, same thing, right?
I'm going to quote you on that and see how many people I can get to hate you.
Do it. I don't care. I have them blocked just so I don't get into anything anymore. Just to remove me from temptation, right? That's the Bible verse.
The Bible verse. I didn't realize I was on Winograd's podcast.
I mean, the Wi-Fi has been behaving as if you were on Winograd's podcast. I think it's just a universal thing. Like, none of us have good Wi-Fi, and we're all like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a podcast." It's like, why? Spend an extra $30 a month, get some good Wi-Fi first. Like, come on, stop.
That's the problem. All you podcast people are fucking povertarian grifters, but that also means you can't afford good internet. But go sit in a Walmart.
Internet I can get where I am. I live in bumfuck nowhere, so I can't get cable or Fios or any of the good things. Like, the best kind of internet I can get is Dish.
Jesus.
Yep.
I'm surprised you're able to even get online.
Mm-hmm. And that's the
where are you doing this?
So now I'm on the one that's connected to the Ethernet telephone wire, the old dial-up modem, basically. Not actually dial-up, but basically the same fucking thing. I'm in upstate New York, in bumfuck nowhere.
I was gonna say, you got Dish internet. Are you in Haiti or something? I think Haiti has better internet than fucking Dish, but
what's crazy is between two towns, and so if I go a quarter of a mile that way or a half a mile that way, I can get cable. But right here,
that figures.
Nope. And we're one of 8 houses that got fucked, and so that's not enough houses for them to give a shit and relay the wiring. So they're just nope, you guys are just gonna be living in 1994 for the rest of existence.
Sounds like what you need to do is build your own killdozer and just run her till they decide to get you some goddamn internet. Also, as I do this podcast, my cat is sitting by the couch watching me, which is relevant because his name is Ron Paul, Pawl. So even my cat, solid libertarian.
Nice. We were just talking about libertarian cats in the car yesterday. On my way back from the Can of Giving that you decided not to come to because you're lame.
Some of us have to work, David. Okay, some of us can't just do fucking podcasts. Okay,
I'm sorry. Your life sucks.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's it. You know, it is what it is. It'll get better. That's why I drink.
Same. But yeah, because one of my friends has a cat named Furry Rothbard, and
that was my backup name, and I'm pissed that somebody else thought of it. Although I'm not surprised. It's a great name.
Mm-hmm. One of my other friends has a cat named Isaac Meowton.
Ooh, that is a good one. Bonnie, get in the comments and put some of the other cat names we thought of for Ron Paul. I don't remember any of them. Ron Paul. See, okay, so here's the deal though with Bonnie. She is. She's just bad. She's not good. Just not good. Just not a good person, really. That's all I got. You know, it's pretty simple. I just don't like her. Like I said, like you wouldn't catch me running around with a George W. Bush cardboard cutout going to college. Like who goes to college parties with a cutout of a politician to begin with? But then it's George W. Bush. I mean, unless you're gonna like do the coke.
He's got really good points here.
Yeah.
Although I was also a neocon when I started my college career. Like you mentioned the Ron Paul Giuliani debate clip, and I barely paid attention to the 2012 election. That election is like kind of what got me into politics in general. But I remember that, and I remember all of like my friends' parents being like, "Oh, that guy hates America. He just blamed 9/11 on America. He's horrible." And I was just like, "Wow, he's horrible."
Right? I like how like there's stages too, where like at first you're like, he didn't blame it on America, and then you're like, he might have. But anyway, like,
but it's our fault.
Like,
fuck it.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. Like, it's okay to think something was horrific and not like just be ignorant towards it. Like you don't have to be like it was horrific and fuck those Iraqi kids. We should bomb them. Like you could think both are bad and shit. Like it's not. But you know, people are fucking weird. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, when I cast my ballot for Johnson Weld in 2016, I still had some neocon like foreign policy tendencies. If you had asked me that day, like if they were polling people at the polling place, who is your least favorite president and why, I would have said Harry S. Truman, because he fired Douglas MacArthur and didn't let him attack and nuke China.
That's a great answer. Let's see. I used to like my. We're not even gonna talk about that. But one of the first things I knew before I knew anything about libertarianism is I knew I fucking hated Rick Santorum. Like Rick Santorum is just a colossal scumbag who I'm not positive if he's ever said he believes in conversion therapy, but I can 100% guarantee you he does. Like, he's a bad dude. He's just a complete. He looks like the kind of guy who would be like dressed up as a patriot and go do a rally at like the Capitol building, but he's a fucking Fed.
What? People don't do that.
No, of course not. Like, but if they were to do that, they would look like him. He looks like the kind of guy who like thinks black pepper is too spicy, but also won't eat it because it's black. Like he's just like not a good. I'm allowed to make those jokes. I have black friends, but I was young, dumb, and waspy. I've repented. Wow. At first, I read that as whoppy, and I was like, "That's gross." It's a weird thing to put on the internet, but that was me and Bonnie's. That's fair. I mean, there are literally people watching the two of us talk right now, which is kind of fucking weird to me. Like, well, this is what you guys are doing with your whatever the fuck day it is, Tuesday night. Let's watch David Fite talk to Joel Getz. David's gonna smoke it blunt, and I'm just sitting in front of a Christmas tree where I didn't have a tree topper, so it's a V for Vendetta Guy Fawkes mask.
That's awesome.
A tree topper.
That's way cooler than a normal tree topper. Yeah, please show that on camera.
Like, I think it's pretty dope. Yeah.
That's beautiful. We're actually just talking on Clubhouse the other day about libertarian themed tree toppers as like a business. And now it's out there and other people are going to steal this great business idea. And I'm a little upset, but oh well. But yeah, like Liberty Torch and a porcupine and Guy Fawkes mask. Like,
I like that because,
lit up tree toppers.
I got it, I got the tree and all that, but like I could never bring myself to spend, I don't even know how much they cost, the money for a tree topper, because it just seems so pointless. And like, I'm a millennial. I don't own an iron or a printer. Like, I'm not going to go buy a fucking tree topper if I don't even own those mildly useful items. But then I saw the Guy Fawkes mask and I was like, yeah, that's it right there, man.
I respect that.
That's it. In college, we just had an empty Patron box that we put on top of our tree because we're douchebags. So, you decorate with liquor items and such.
You were like a douchey frat bro in college, weren't you?
Honestly, I wasn't. I always hated the frat bros because they're douchebags. I mean, I've always been like...
do we believe him on this one, or is he bullshitting?
I was not a frat bro. Don't get me wrong. I'd like to go out and party and whatnot, but like actual frat shit, I've never been to a frat party in my life, surprisingly. And I went to Penn State. Like, I've never been to a frat party. All
right. Interesting. I have and I'm definitely not a frat bro type.
Chat, do we believe him? Brr. But yeah, I don't know. You seem kind of fratty to me. Yeah, you could totally be in a frat,
I guess, yeah. Now that I'm like less socially awkward and a little bit more of a fun person, I probably, if I went to college now and was not red pilled and black pilled the way that I am, I would probably, I would be that type. But back then I was still like a repressed Christian kid who was homeschooled and like just experiencing the world for the first time. And so frat parties kind of scared me. And I didn't actually go to a college that had frats. So
frat parties should scare everyone because it's like everybody thinks it came from China. That's not true. Coronavirus came from a frat party. That's a fact. It came out of a giant container of jungle juice that got left out for too long and forgotten about. And that's how we got coronavirus. However, if you've drank enough jungle juice in your life, you are immune because your insides are dead. Which is why I think I didn't get COVID. Right. There's nothing can live in my body. My body is at least 65% alcohol, so it is technically an antiseptic. Antiseptic? It's one of those words that no matter how I say it, I think I said it wrong. But anyway, how did you go from repressed Christian kid to a heathen libertarian? Now, I'm interviewing you now. This is my fucking show.
All right. Getz for liberty. Getz liberty. But,
I like that better.
Yeah.
Grift for liberty.
Grift for Getz grifty.
all I can think of is Rick and Morty. It's time to get grifty in here. Also, is it strange that I'm doing this podcast with brass knuckles on?
No.
All right.
My last episode, the guy had a fucking black powder rifle behind him the whole time. So
Oh, I feel like I am not doing enough. Then what else? There we go. I got a full-blown hand grenade here.
With a grenade. All right.
Here, I'll wear the brass knuckles and a grenade.
There you go.
Which is clearly a replica prop, FBI.
I was gonna say brass knuckles accidentally gets hooked on grenade pin.
Uh-oh. It's been a good show, David. Thanks.
It's what I thought happened earlier. You just like but
that's how I want to go out.
I started partying I was 18. I lived in a college town in a house full of college kids, but wasn't going to school at the time. I was just working. And so that was the closest I had to like a college party frat phase or whatever. So that kind of kick-started it. Then I moved to New York City. And yeah, I just I kind of I got to the point where I hated all of the rules that I had growing up, and I was just like, I'm gonna break them all. So I became a stoner, cokehead, alcoholic at the age of 18 or 19, working on Wall Street and going out drinking 6 nights a week or so.
When you say working on Wall Street, legit working on Wall Street the way most people would think of it, or did you have a food cart on Wall Street?
So I wasn't in stocks yet. I was working in marketing, but my office was right around the corner from the stock exchange.
Yeah,
and it was still it wasn't stocks. It wasn't the stock exchange. I wasn't quite in that world, but I was still in the kind of office building where I would go into the bathroom before going into work in the morning and would see the CEOs of the companies around that shared a floor with us in the bathroom doing lines off the sink. So it was that's morning, boss.
First of all, that's not normal. Second of all, it's called the stonk exchange. So I don't know why you keep saying stock, but also, hey, here's one for you. Just remember this one. Why do libertarians hate not drive Italian cars?
I don't know why.
They hate fiat.
That's horrible.
I was really scared. I was really scared. I know, but I was terrified you weren't going to laugh, and I was just going to sit here like an asshole, which happens with some of my jokes.
Should have done that. I should have just deadpanned you.
You should have just looked dead at me and be like, I don't understand the joke, and I'd been like, oh, my internet cut out.
But yeah, I basically I just decided to buck everything almost simultaneously, because I didn't the first time I walked away from the faith. It wasn't I don't believe anymore. It was I still believe everything. I just fucking hate God and the church and Christians. I think he's still up there. He created us. I was still a young earth creationist and an atheist at the same time, basically, because I was just I still like haven't, especially being homeschooled. Like creationism was the entirety of my science curriculum, like all
Wow.
12 years. So like I really like the thought of evolution. Like even an 18, 19-year-old me couldn't really like wrap my head around changing the entire makeup of the Earth's history in my head. But I was just like, yeah, I think he's there. I think he's just a prick and a homophobe and a douchebag. And so I was like, I was told drugs are bad. Drugs seem to be fine so far. Let's keep doing them. I was told drinking is bad. That seems to be going all right. Let's keep doing that. Sex. I was told sex was terrible. I was engaged for 3 months. My ex had her wedding dress. We had the venue. We had our bridesmaids and groomsmen picked out. Her bridesmaids had the dresses before I lost my virginity. Like because at that point we were just like, obviously it's gonna happen, so close enough, right?
I mean, it doesn't.
The world didn't end when I slept with more than one person, and so I was like, well, guess we're gonna keep doing that too. And then now we're here, and I'm a libertarian.
So basically, alcohol, drugs, and premarital sex led you to becoming a libertarian. Which is, I mean, that I could have called that one.
Guns, like drugs, and yeah, just the general disdain for authority.
Guns, drugs, and premarital sex is going to be the sign I put on my hotel room door at convention.
Nice.
That way they know that way the feds know like which exactly room to come to. Honestly, it's weird. Like I probably will be the only libertarian there who doesn't have drugs. Bonnie's just mad because like I told a joke that was funny. Like when Bonnie has a funny joke, like she'll tell it over and over and over and over again. Like her favorite one is like, if I had an OnlyFans, people would pay me to put my clothes back on. And I've heard it no less than a dozen times. And I know anytime we're in a situation where OnlyFans gets mentioned, I'm like, Jesus Christ, she's gonna tell that fucking joke again. And it's just not. It wasn't funny the first time. Like now it's just every time, and I don't know why we're friends sometimes, but
are
you? What it is. We're just gonna roast.
Are you friends? Because it's kind of hard to tell from this episode.
She's gonna have to answer that in the comments if she's not too busy doing, I don't know, recording. Yeah. If she's not too busy fiddling with her microphone or attending a GOP meeting. But our very first post that kind of went semi-viral was it was right around the time the song WAP came out. And we posted, "This country needs a WAP, woman as president." And people went apeshit for it. And that's why I was like, oh shit, I might be good at this. I might know how to do social media stuff. And then it just went off from there. Although I will say that I got in trouble. Well, I didn't get in trouble. I do whatever the fuck I want. It's not like I got grounded. But it didn't go over well when the LPPA account replied to one of Biden's tweets and said, "Don't tell me what to do, Fed boy." Which
why did that go over well?
Because it's not professional, and it's like what New Hampshire does and stuff. I'm like, no, you guys don't like New Hampshire because you're like they post Holocaust shit. I called Biden a Fed boy, which number one. I feel like as the leader of the executive branch of the federal government, by definition, he is the head Fed boy. Mm-hmm. Unless you're objecting to me, assuming his gender, that's maybe okay. But he's definitely a Fed. But yeah, it didn't go over well because it wasn't serious enough. I'm like, you guys don't understand social media. Yes, we have a brand and an image to uphold, but
have they ever heard of Wendy's?
Right, it's Twitter. You get growth by being snarky and shit. People aren't just gonna right. If people read the first 3 words of your tweet and they're not fucking locked into it, you're done. Like, you gotta like be snarky and catch their attention, and it's just like we're not writing fucking like articles for NPR on here. We're writing tweets that are generally speaking for libertarians, and yet still keeping them professional enough where people outside of the bubble can understand and go along with it. But it's roasting each other is our love language. That's gross. Don't say that, Bonnie. God.
Aw,
God. She has
that's
to.
adorable. You guys are
Not,
so
I don't
cute.
know.
Man, this is almost cuter than
Don't.
Sarah and Matt on last week's episode.
First of all, don't compare us to a married couple. Second of all, we are the opposite of Sarah and Matt because I am the disproportionately attractive one.
That's fair. Also, she was being a lot more wholesome than Bonnie. It was literally the most wholesome thing I've ever seen on an episode of my show or any other podcast ever. It was just the whole time. First of all, she watched the whole thing. I don't know anyone whose significant other watches their podcasts. I know I never watched any of the podcasts that my exes have been in, and I know that they really never watched mine. I know like Tasha doesn't watch anything Spike does, but Sarah watched the entire episode and was in the comments the whole time with like wholesome shit like words can't express how proud of you I am, and I love you so much, and is it okay if I get Taco Bell?
Is it okay if I get Taco? That's the most wholesome
she
one I
asked
heard.
him that through the comments, not a text, through the comments of the show.
When is it not okay? When is it not okay to get Taco Bell would be my question. Also, didn't realize, I didn't even know Spike had a podcast. But that doesn't set up my next comment very well. But speaking of wholesome, Spike actually sang me happy birthday on my birthday, which is when I was on his podcast, which was wholesome. The problem was that, well, he didn't sing it. He played it and then said my name in the appropriate parts. The problem was that only Spike could hear that audio. So me and Matt could not hear the audio of it that he was playing. So he asked me a question and I was answering. So if you watch the podcast, it's me and Matt having a conversation and Spike just going like this while Happy Birthday plays, and every once in a while going, Joel. And I heard him do it twice, and I'm like, what the fuck is Spike Cohen doing right now, man? Then I watched it back later, and I'm like, oh my God, he was playing Happy Birthday for me, and I had no idea what was going on.
Wait, so could the audience hear Happy Birthday or just Spike? Okay.
Yes. Everyone but me and Matt Wright could hear Happy Birthday, so we just looked like two assholes who were ignoring whatever Spike was trying to do, which is fair. So
you guys look like yourselves. That makes sense.
Yeah, which, I mean, to be fair, I have a beard. To be fair, hey, fuck you, Riley. We should do a podcast sometime. Oh, it's so good. I'm assuming if you've watched that, you've watched what's the Trailer Park Boys?
I actually haven't, even though I understand that assumption. It's on my list. I just I never have the right streaming services at the right times and the right amount of time to watch it, and I just haven't.
I thought it was one of the funniest shows I've ever watched, and I also recognize that if I was high while I watched it, it would be twice as funny. So I think for you, it would be absolutely incredible.
You watched it sober?
I watched it not high. I don't know if I was sober, but yeah, I told you I don't do drugs. Like, it was weird, but yeah, it was a great show. I mean, I've been to like,
did you not just
music festivals?
Take a bong hit like 5 minutes ago?
It's a vape.
Oh,
it's a vape, bro. Okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, bro.
You just leaned down, cool. So I couldn't tell if you were like hitting something.
Oh, I was fiddling with my microphone. Yeah. Let's see what. Bonnie said Bonnie said her phone is about to die, so even she can't watch us that long, I guess.
Oh.
What a loser. She's
She
probably just
really is
lying.
such a sweet person. Like, I'm glad that I got to meet her in Virginia Beach because she actually is pretty cool. Thanks for watching.
Virginia? That's right. You were in Virginia.
Yeah, I was.
That's right. I had an entire conversation with you about your shirt, and then I think I talked to you again, and I had no fucking idea who you were. And then I ended up talking about you, and Bonnie said your name, and I was like, yeah, I know of David Fite. Who's David Fite's here? She was like, he's the guy you were literally just fucking talking to and about. And I was like, fuck, David's the guy with the fucking shirt. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, I was wearing my Taxes Pay Killer Cops t-shirt.
There was a surprising number of people at that training who had an undercut haircut. I think there were at least 3 or 4 of us, and I kind of dig it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Might be a libertarian thing.
My date to that event had the same haircut, so
This is accurate. I made that comment. I went up to her. I was like, "Yo, we have the same haircut." I don't know. As I said it, I was like, "That feels like something you shouldn't say to to a girl or something." She was like, "Oh shit, that's awesome." I was like, "Oh, good. That's right. Libertarians, you can say shit to, and it's not like normal."
Wait, are
rules.
you part of the caucus? There's a Libertarian Party undercut caucus.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, send it to me on Messenger right now.
All right, guys, we're gonna pull this
No,
up.
fuck this show. They can wait. Go to Nug of Knowledge while you wait for David to.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Go to Nug. See, I'm good. I'm better at this than you are. Go to Nug of Knowledge. Use promo code F4L, and you'll get a nice discount on all your CBD needs. Take some CBD before bed. It really helps you sleep. I take it for my anxiety at night. Really quiets my mind down. That's Nug of Knowledge. And when you're done with that, open up your PayPal and send a donation to Getz for Mayor. That's the GETZ, the number 4 Mayor. Don't know what I'm going to do with that money, but figure it out. I'm going to grift or something. Yeah, we'll be all right.
Boom. Libertarian Party Undercut Caucus. It has 14 members.
Chrissy. Yeah,
yes, that's Chrissy Wickers.
Of course it's Chrissy Wickers. How is it? Why is there a fucking caucus for everything in this party?
Because we're retarded, and because people decided that they were gonna just make a fucking caucus for everything. But yeah, guys, if you want to, if you have the same awesome haircut and you want to be part of something, join the Libertarian Party Undercut Caucus. I think it's an offshoot of the Libertarian Party Trashy Prom Caucus.
That's one that I did not go to. I know you guys had a trashy prom party or whatever the hell.
We did.
In Pennsylvania, and I did not go to because I have a weird thing where I didn't have a vehicle, and also wouldn't matter because I was trashed. I hate going somewhere with people if I don't know for sure I have a way back. So I was like, nope, that's going to drive me absolutely batshit crazy. So I did not go, but these are great membership questions.
No one left back to the no one left the house and went back to the hotel. No one. Not even people that paid for hotel rooms.
Yeah, and I had to be there for the board meeting the next day, and I was like, I don't think I can do that. You got to have an undercut. It's in the fucking name. That's the group rules.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Well, I'm now officially a caucus member again, ever since the Prags or whatever they're called. This is great. This is fucking, God, I hate this party sometimes so much.
There was another random caucus comment earlier while we were talking about fighting, because we also have a pro wrestling caucus for anybody watching that didn't know that. but I don't know anybody cool that's a member of that caucus. So maybe don't join. It's kind of like the Pokemon kid table in the lunchroom in high school, not in middle school, in high school.
Ooh. See, I don't want to get my ass beat, so I will say, just in case he watches this, that Tim McMaster is pretty cool, but everyone else is probably a fucking nerd. So
I don't believe I know Tim. So sorry, Tim. You might be cool. I'll reserve.
Yeah,
judgment.
Tim's a goat farmer. He has a little goatee. He was a big guy at a fucking at convention who threatened to hit people with a chair on more than one occasion that I heard. But in his defense, it was all deserved.
But he's a goatee with a goatee.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes, that is. You nailed that one.
Libertarian Party Dad Joe Caucus. Woo!
There's. I swear to God, there's a caucus. Also before this, I got involved in this party. I'd never been to a Waffle House, and now I'm pretty sure I make people physically uncomfortable with my desire to go to Waffle Houses. They'll be like, "Where do you want to go?" They name like really good places, and I'll be like, "Fuck all those places. There's a Waffle House that way." They'll be like, "But all these places are closer." And I'm like, "I don't give a shit. Give me your keys. We're going to the Waffle House." And it's just like the one TikTok I saw where like, "Is the food good? Is it safe? Nah. Is it clean? It's just an experience, man. You gotta do it." Plus, I do think the food is good, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was on a campaign deployment or a petitioning deployment in Amarillo, Texas this year, and me and my coworker made a point to go to all 5 of the Waffle Houses in Amarillo, Texas, in the 4 weeks that we were there.
That's brilliant.
We went to one of
I
them
am jealous
twice.
of any. I'm jealous of any place that has 5 Waffle Houses.
Okay, but you know what they had that makes no sense to me? They had Texas Roadhouse in Texas.
Wouldn't it just be called Roadhouse?
Right.
It should just be called Roadhouse.
Why would you go to Texas Roadhouse when you could go to an actual Texas Roadhouse? There's like, like a dozen fucking like small locally owned like actual badass roadhouses in Amarillo, Texas, and you go to a fucking chain called Texas Roadhouse, and it was always popular. Like the fucking parking lot was packed. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? You live in Texas, you know that there's better than this.
To be fair, I think you answered the question when you said. To be fair, when you said you live in Texas, apparently we're gonna shit on Texas now too. Fucking hillbillies. But anyway, they like to brag about their membership and all that. I don't see you coming in here with the strong elected libertarian numbers like Pennsylvania's. Although I will say they have a great Twitter game. Fucking fantastic Twitter game.
They have a great Twitter game. They might be able to win more elections if their state chair was in their state.
Who said that?
What? I'm not. Shade? Who threw that? Sorry.
Yeah, that's not like libertarians to throw shade on podcasts.
No, never. I really don't usually on this show. I try not to. I try really hard to behave on this show. But she's not someone that I'll resist throwing shade at because fuck her. There's few people in the party that I will just like actively oppose. She's one of them.
Yeah, I got a few of those people. Ever since I got over my caucus derangement syndrome, there's still a handful of people across the whole spectrum of libertarianism. I'm like, I don't care what you believe in or any of that. I just don't fucking like you as a person. Like, no.
Yep.
I will just do everything I can to make your life more difficult. I don't care. Is it petty? Yeah, sure is. Fucking petty guy. Call me Dave Petty. Tom Petty. I don't know why I went with Dave there. That's not right.
Richard.
Yeah. Richard Petty. Richard Petty. I could have went with just about any name other than fucking Dave, probably.
Well, before we wrap up, I want you to give people an opportunity to find out how they can get more involved with the LPPA or their state and county parties, and why maybe they should run for office as a inspector of elections or mayor or something else random.
So if you're watching in Pennsylvania, you can go to lppa.org. Or Google the name of your state and Libertarian Party. I'm sure your website will come up. In Pennsylvania, then you can go to your county and it will show you who your county leader is, your county chair, and give you contact information. I imagine other states have similar things. If your county is not developed, it'll be able to contact a vice chair for your region and start the process setting it up yourself. And you should run for office because so far I've found that that's been the most successful way to spread the message of libertarianism and liberty and freedom in our lifetime. I ended with, I think, close to 20% of the vote, which is roughly 200 votes in the borough. And I looked, there are only, I think, 30 registered libertarians in the borough. So clearly I got the message out there and it reached people and they liked it. How many of them that's going to stick with for future elections, I don't know. But if it's more than one, it was a successful campaign, because I said from the beginning that, yeah, I want to win, obviously. But that's not why I did it. Winning would be awesome, but I did it to promote libertarianism and, help grow the party and all that. And I'd like to think I did that with those numbers and winning inspector of elections. But find something you're good at. I know a lot of people with backgrounds in finance who would be good for auditor, or if you're a narc like Jacob Winograd, become a constable. If you're running for mayor like me and you just happen to notice there's an empty spot at inspector of elections, go for it. It worked out because my name was already on the ballot, so I was able to be like, hey, just look 2 spots above, write it exactly like that. You could win a write-in campaign by literally printing out a few hundred business cards and standing outside for a little while. And if nobody else is running, boom, you could probably stand out there for an hour and win. I mean, it's really easy to do. Hopefully you have a good board of elections. I've heard some horror stories where some places have really shitty boards of elections. Mine was great. She was super helpful. She told me some stuff I didn't know. I helped her with some stuff, being a third party candidate that I don't know if she ever really dealt with that before. So we both helped each other out along the way, and it was great. But yeah, it's a great way to spread the message of libertarianism. And hey, if you're a grifter, it's great for that too. People love giving out campaign donations, so get that money.
Do they?
In my experience, they did. Maybe I'm like, I don't know. I raised like 5 or 6 grand. I raised like 5 or 6 grand for like a fucking mayoral race. I mean, that was pretty solid.
Nice.
If
any of those people are watching this, tomfor52.com/donate, or click the link in the description to donate to Tom Queter from New York State Senate, a candidate that's actually not a grifter and might actually win.
He's not a grifter, but he probably could drift in his chair, which would be dope. In fact, if you donate $1,000, we will send you a video of Tom drifting in a parking lot.
Yes, I can promise that. I'll make that happen.
Yeah. So whatever. And for $2,000, we will drift him in a parking lot while he's asleep. Somehow. It's probably do. I wonder if we could fucking hook something up where we could actually control him with like an RC remote.
Oh my God.
That'd be fucking hilarious if we can get him. If we can get him to the LPPA convention and just like have him crash into speakers while they're talking, I think that'd be good.
We just like, yeah, we'll just like have the remote at the booth, and it's just like, you know, $10 a minute to control the remote, and you just get to watch him fucking terrorize the entire convention. We would raise thousands of dollars
easily, and that's only like including the money I would give. Oh yeah, yeah, and there's no limit either. It's midnight. Tom's still fucking going. I mean, he can take a nap if he wants. I don't care, but we're running this 24/7.
See, it's like 2 a.m. Everyone's like drunk on the balcony, and he's just like asleep in his chair, just getting driven around in circles around everyone.
You're trying to fall asleep in your room, and you just like hear, and it's Tom just driving into your door over and over again for no fucking reason.
That would just be like a normal convention that Tom's attending.
That's.
So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, go to lppa.org and click whatever the thing is. If it's volunteer, get involved, or join, or whatever the button says, click it. If you're in PA, if you're not in PA, don't do that. That'd be dumb. If you're not in PA, go to lp.org and click states, and then find your state, and then click the join button there. Whatever state that might be, and then maybe join your neighboring state, because maybe they're cooler than you, like in my case. Every state that neighbors me is cooler than my state.
Well, no, not New Jersey.
Yeah, that's exactly the state that made me retract that statement. Not New Jersey. Yeah. Fuck New Jersey. But the rest of the states.
Fuck New Jersey.
But if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it all over. Go to tomfor52.com or click the link in the description so that you can donate to the campaign, help us out. Go to nugofknowledge.com, do all the things. Be awesome. Keep fighting for liberty. We'll be back here tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Freedom Time with Eric Brakey, the senior spokesman from Young Americans for Liberty. So that's going to be awesome. Tune back in for that. Until then, keep up the fight.
Shut up and sit down.